Hi, good morning. It's the 4th of July. We've had the driest July for 190 years, according to, since the beginning of records began in Kent. And this permission is about 30 acres plus, and originally divided into about 9 fields. The local history society have written up some interesting information regarding this location, and suggest that there was a drove road which passed through. I'm assuming it's the one basically to my right on the edge of the permission. These drove roads they reached kind of fruition in the Anglo-Saxon period, although they transhumance started 4000 BC, where pigs were driven from the edge of the forest, because bear in mind this was originally a dense forest, into the forest in September or October to eat the acorns and fatten up, and then they were taken back out to the edge of the forest, which in the Anglo-Saxon was where the location of the manors which later arrived, originally just halls and where the various communities were situated. So this forest, which was still a forest in 1066, is described in 892 as being 130 miles wide and 30 miles deep. Obviously the ability to measure accurately the number of miles was quite difficult in those times, but it's thought that it's not hugely wide of the mark. The forest was actually, this is the forest of Weald, or Andredswold as it was called originally, about 90 miles wide and about 30 miles deep. So it ran from, in the west, Petersfield in Hampshire, all the way to Lymm in Kent. And I'm nearer to the Lymm end of the forest. And it ran from Sevenoaks through to Hailsham in the other axis, north to south. The drove roads run broadly north, northeast, south, southwest, and for topographical reasons they followed the ridge lines normally, and they intersected roads which followed, broadly speaking, also the direction of the rivers in West Kent, which run from east to west. So they could be both used to take the animals from the forest to the manors on the edge of the forest, on the edge of the chalk, if you like, or east-west to the markets, or some of possibly markets on the coast. The ground is extremely dry. I've driven past this permission several times, and I thought, hey, that would be interesting because it's on an elevated area of land, and the river Belt, spelt B-E-U-L-T, as I explained in the last video, runs around the edge of it, and that river runs westwards to a place called Yalding, where it joins the Medway, and then it goes north out to a place called Rochester. So we're near to a tributary of the river Belt. Right, so nothing more for me to say really, other than because I don't know what we'll find, but fingers crossed, might be able to penetrate this ridiculously hard soil. I can't personally remember any significant rain since February, and it's now the 4th of August. I'll see you on the first hole. Right, first signal of the day. A nice 20 at 75%. The scale on the Vanquish, the old Vanquish 540, is -9 to 40. That sounds like a coin. Sounds like a coin. Oh, I can dig it. I didn't think I'd be able to dig it because it has literally been absolutely stiflingly hot for months in the UK. Alright, straight down to 8 inches. The signal's starting to become rougher. It's not good, but you never know. I think it's in the spoil because when the signal disappears like that, it's usually swung round. The item is normally swung round. There you go. Now I'm reckoning that's a coin or a button. That's we shall see. Not there. Where are you? Ah, it's a musket ball. That's a good first find, a musket ball. It's a brown bess type, so anywhere from sort of 1750 onwards, I would say. Maybe 1700 onwards. Forget the size or diameter, but about 3/4 of an inch anyway. Cool. There we are, hole filled in as best we can. Bear in mind that when the ground's dry like this, dog walkers and the like, the dogs can, even cows can pull the plugs out. So we do the best job we can in terms of filling the hole in every instance. Right, here we have a dried up pond. I'm going to run between the two ponds. See some sheep there, some intelligent sheep. Knowing where there's a cool place to hide. And these ponds were obviously part of the drainage scheme, but also used for watering animals. Some of them are marl pits, and some of them are pits for the excavation of iron, which go back to the Roman. The Romans controlled this area, it's thought, and gave it its name, Andred's Wold. They controlled the forest, and the local, or the native Romano-British people were held to ransom in their production of iron. Anyway, I'm going to run from this pond across to another pond over there. Alright, number 2, same area. These are absolute pingers, these signals. This time it's an 18. Ground's a little bit tougher here. Right. It's one of those that's hard to pinpoint, unfortunately. So with a bigger coil on, obviously it might be in the side wall. I'll go in with the pinpointer if necessary. It's broken up completely now. Right, I'll come back to you. Right, there's me digging a big hole, and it's on the edge of the hole. That's the thing about the bigger coil is maybe the pinpointing is not quite so accurate. But it's actually lying on the surface, and I didn't see it. It's a tarpaulin eyelet, so just a modern tarpaulin eyelet. Right, hole number 3 sounds just like the musket ball. Dead on 20. Those brown bess musket balls, I think about 0.72 of an inch or something in diameter. Right, another side wall target. It's so easy to be off centre. Sometimes you have another target nearby that pulls the centre across. But, what is this? Ah, it's a coin. There you go. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, nice. What do we got there? I get the impression, I was told it hadn't been detected before, so have that hope. It's a farthing. It's probably a Victorian farthing. No, it's George I or George III, 1700s farthing. So he's facing right, I can just see him there. So yeah, 1700 to 1820-ish. I think that's a George I actually, but we'll have a closer look later. That's a good find. Alright, don't know if you can see that farthing. I can see a George I, I believe, facing right, so early 1700s. First part of the 18th century. Can't see a lot on the back, but hole number 3. So hole number 1, musket, and number 2 was an eyelet, and number 3 is a early 1700s farthing. So good progress so far. Right, number 4. That's a lowly 10. We tried to dig all positive figures on the old Vanquish 540. Let's just check. Pinpointing. Right, reckoning it's about there. Okay, 10. This was a 12 from that hole. Let's pick it up, and it's getting dark. The sky is going dark. Might get some rain, you never know. Oh, may still be in the hole. Not sure. No, it's a tiny fragment of lead. Right, this one's a 15. Sort of button territory in that clod there. Let's have a look. That's another piece of lead. Another piece of lead, there we are. This is a 22. You can see silver. Oh, I can see a coin. What have we got here? Not that deep. Oh gosh. Who have we got there? Right, I'm going to give that a clean up, and we'll have a look in a moment. It looks like a sixpence. Right, that was a George V. So, between the wars in probability, maybe 1930s, 1920s. There we go. It's still a nice coin. I can't remember the silver content. I think that's partly Cupro nickel. Sixpence. Alright, 14. 14. Probably quite shallow. Another piece of lead. That's a good sign, lots of little bits of lead. Possibly quite ancient. I've gone around the corner into a different area. This was a 10. Quite low on the scale, but oh, it's fallen out. Ah, a bit of alley. No, another piece of lead. Another piece of lead. Right near the highest point in the permission, I've got a 15. Sort of places where I would anticipate ancient people possibly to have erected a kiln, or in the case of hoards, there seems to be a pattern with certain areas of the country where they're on a south-facing slope down from a high point. So I don't know if there's a pattern there or not, but this one's a coin, or the remnants of a coin anyway. It's pretty shot. Yeah, I think it's too thin to be a Roman. Right, no ideas. Could it be Roman? I think it's too thin. If it is, it's shot to pieces and it's lost a lot of its thickness. Right, not far from that hill brow I mentioned. 18 from that hole there, very deep, near to that absolutely shot coin or button, one or the other, I would say. Right. This one's just a piece of aluminium foil. It's a 16, and it's in this clod here, I think. What's it going to be? It's a flattened piece of copper. I don't know what that is. Just a rolled up piece of copper sheet. This is an 18. Sorry about the wind. Just there, see, not very deep in the sidewall. I think that's a musket ball. Might be a piece of lead. Yeah, that's a musket ball. There you go, another musket ball. Smaller one this time. But this certainly sounds like a coin. Don't think you can hear that. 19. Nice and compact. Oh, it's a horse brass again. Another horse brass. Oh no, it's a spoon. It's a spoon bowl. It's possibly made of pewter, so might have some age to it. Anyway, spoon bowl. Right, this is an 18 or 20. Gave a whole load of other rough tones in one axis, but not this way. It's got better since it came out of the hole. 19. What's it going to be? Something copper, I suspect. It's that. Aluminium, don't know what it is. You got something rather large down at, well, the pinpoint is 9 or 10 inches, so I'm just in here and just picking it up there, so something large. Try and get down there and I'll come back to you. Right, after all that, down at nearly a foot, I can see it's a drinks can. Don't know if you can see. Pretty sure that's a drinks can. Of course, I'm beside the road here, the other side of the hedge, so I don't think I'm even going to bother taking it out. I might do. No, it's not worth the blisters involved. I'll have to leave. Right, a 20. Sorry about the wind. And that clod there. Away from the road edge again, or away from the road edge where I found that can. This time, it's not to say this isn't rubbish too. Oh. It's a button. Oh, nice little Victorian button there. There we go. Clean it up later. Alright, nice sounding 23. Let's see where it is. Oh, is that it? Is that a piece of lead or is that a musket ball? No, it's not that. And there are somewhere. Alright. Very deep then. It's in one of these. Oh, it's a coin. Or is it a button? Is it a button? Is it? No, it's a button. We're not far from that other Victorian button. That's quite a nice one. I'll give it a clean. There might be something on that one. I'll give it a clean. Right, I think there was once something on there, but alas, no longer. There may have been a crest or something, but I can't see it any longer. It's completely corroded, unfortunately. Well, there we go. Right, this is a buckle of some description, or 23 on the scale. Oh, it is a buckle rather. There you go. Still got the pin attached. Probably Victorian or later even. There you go. Nice little buckle anyway. 25, and it's down there. Have a look. Down there at about 5 inches in the sidewall. It's a coin. Not variety or flavour of coin, I don't know. Let's have a look. Go and have a break in a minute. It's now 43 past 1, quarter to 2. 2.25 hours so far. Right, I think that's Victoria. Not entirely sure. I'll go on to the other camera, 1 minute. Not entirely certain, I think that could be a George III penny. Can't really see immediately. It's either Victorian or it's Georgian anyway, it's a penny. There you go. I don't know if you can see anything there. Get it into a suitable light for you. Alright, a penny. Right, so taking a break. Oldest article, apart from the bits of lead which I can't date, was the George I farthing. It's now 2 o'clock, so take a sort of half-time break. I'm eating these fig rolls. Fig rolls, they seem like a good bet for restoring my energy anyway, and not. I don't want to carry a huge load, obviously, in terms of food, so I like to get everything into one bag. But we've got all of this area to do now, so hoping something a bit more ancient might come up. But it's a hot day. Thank God I didn't come out yesterday because it was super hot yesterday, but we've got a bit of cloud cover now, so might make things a little bit easier. Hello? Anyone in there? Oh. I'm sure someone lives there. Alright. Okie dokes. Right, this is a 5, so quite a low number. It's lightly, obviously scale affects the number as well as conductivity and a whole load of other things, but the IQ technique that MindLab use on their detectors can't exclude scale, so obviously it could be something copper and it could just be the size of a grain of rice or something, but it's obviously more likely to be steel or something if it's the size of a, say, 2p, if that makes any sense. So scale pulls the number down as well as other things, which I'll go into maybe another time. Right, it's actually a tiny bit of foil, so there you go. Gold foil. Right, there we go, gold foil. It's interesting, I see a bit of bronze. It was 19 on the scale, and I think we have a pot leg. I think we have a bronze pot leg, yes we do. Oh, very nice. Oh, it's got a hole in it. Maybe a mistake in the casting process, but yeah, that's pretty nice. 1600s maybe? Anywhere from about 14 to 1700, I would say. I'll give it a clean and we'll go on the other camera. So yes, as I say, about probably 1600s. There's probably a bubble or a piece of wood in the casting process there that caused that hole. But that's what that is anyway, from a cauldron, from a bronze pot. Out of that hole there, which I don't think you can see because of my shadow, but there. Right, it's quite a high number under this oak tree here, and these were formerly field divides that have the fields have been opened up. As I say, there were about 7 fields originally. In 1950 they were on the aerial picture. think that's a piece of shrapnel, yeah. Fortunately it's a piece of shrapnel. The characteristic lines through it, there you go. Right, this is one I obviously missed because it's quite near to that dried up pond with those sheep in it that I showed you. And it was a 24. So something copper. Right, it's in that clod there. It's about 5 inches down. Yeah, just there. Oh, and it's a piece of bloody shrapnel. I thought it was going to be something decorated, right. Piece of shrapnel from an exploded shell, World War II, or World War I, but yeah, not as exciting as I'd hoped. Alright, I'll probably make this the last of the day. It's not far from those oak trees where those sheep are resting. It's 3:51, so I've got a 26. Let's see what it is. Right, looks like a bit of lead. Unfortunately, I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah. Get an idea of the dryness of the ground there. But yeah, oh, it's not even lead. It's a bit of aluminium, I think. Yeah, a bit of aluminium. Right, I had one more signal on the way back to my bag from that hole there, and it was a 23, and it's this. It's a horse brass. So I think that will be the last one. Yeah. When I clean it, we'll see if there's anything on it, but it looks plain to me. So a horse brass, second one of the day.